Hi, I'm Michaela Metz.
And where do you live?
I currently live in Edgewater, Colorado. Yes, I've lived in Westminster, Colorado. That's where I grew up. And I lived in Arizona when I went to school in Tucson for a couple of years. When I moved back to Colorado, I went to school in Boulder for the last 2 years of college, and I lived in Boulder for those years. And after I graduated, I came back and lived with my parents, and then I went to Europe for 2 months for a vacation to ski, and then I moved to Edgewater after that.
Who do you live with?
I live with my boyfriend and my friend, so 2 boys.
I'm Ben Salvo.
You're Raquel's boyfriend.
Yes, yep. I live in Edgewater.
How do you like it?
I like Edgewater. There's lots to do in Edgewater.
Do you like it more than Boulder, or?
Oh yeah, because Boulder, you're just kind of you're in Boulder.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you want to go to another town from Boulder, you got to drive at least 15 minutes. Edgewater, you're like central to like everything. You're 30 minutes to Boulder, 30 minutes to Highlands Ranch, 30 minutes to the mountains, and like 10 minutes from Denver. So it's really prime spot to be in the metro area.
Can you explain like where Edgewater is?
Whenever I mention like Sloan's Lake, that's like the area, like the landmark that I use, and a lot of people don't know what that is. And so then the next landmark I usually go to is like the football stadium, the Broncos football stadium, where like Edgewater is like 10 minutes from there. So like that's Federal, and then up Sheridan, and then like that's Edgewater, in between like Sheridan and Wadsworth. And so it can also be considered Denver. So like my address could also work as Denver. But since it's so small, there's like signs not that far. It's tiny area.
Would you say you liked living in Boulder more or Edgewater more?
Edgewater.
Because it's like smaller town.
Because it's smaller town, and it's also closer to Denver, which I think is cooler because Boulder is really far from Denver.
Your cat has moved around with you too.
Yes, and she came from Arizona, so she did her first road trip when she was a baby.
Do you think she liked Boulder more since she could go outside?
I think she liked the Boulder house the best, yes, because it was the biggest yard, and she could go outside and explore on like grass versus like concrete. And then she also did like my parents' backyard too. She liked that backyard too because it had a lot of grass area.
Your cat's moved around quite a bit too.
Yep.
Do you think that she likes Edgewater more or Boulder more because she can go out in Edgewater, right?
Yeah. In Boulder, I was in the 3rd story, so she didn't really have a spot to go out besides the balcony, but she definitely likes Edgewater better just because we have a backyard-ish and front yard.
I kind of think that Boulder and Edgewater are similar.
Yes, I think they're similar in the way of like the small town sense of like they have a few bars that everyone knows of and restaurants.
And you're closer to the restaurants now than you were in Boulder, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah. In this place I live, especially because it's like a few walks from the Edgewater Public Marketplace, and that's like a area that's new. Like Boulder too, I guess, there's so much exercise, so much like active people out. People are always walking their dogs around Sloan Lake. I literally always see people walking around Sloan's Lake, and they also have like volleyball like tournaments and stuff at Sloan's Lake, and like frisbee disc golf, like things that you could sign up for at the lake. And they have rowing at the lake too, so there's activities at the lake that you can sign up for, and as well as just like running around, like so much runners and things like that. It's crazy. Everyone's active there.
What's your favorite thing to do in Edgewater?
Probably just go visit Sloan's Lake. I know there's some lakes in Boulder, but like Sloan's Lake is like 5-minute walk from our house. So there's plenty of stuff to do around Sloan's Lake. And then just the amount of like restaurants like right in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it seems like a little closer knit than Boulder.
Yeah. It reminds me of Portland a little bit. Just like with a lot of like small stuff, like actually in the neighborhood, because a lot of times in Colorado, it's not like that. Like especially in Westminster, like Boulder, you have to like drive to like the shopping centers or whatever. But there's just a bunch of random stuff in Edgewater.
One thing I do really like about Edgewater is like Edgewater Inn Pizza. That place has been there for a really long time. Like my parents talked to me about it. Like they were like, yeah, they have the best pizza, and we go to it now and say that they have a good pizza. And then like, but it's also a new area, so they have a lot of new things. But then they have like those older like landmarks that people know of. And then there's like bars and restaurants, and then there's actually axe throwing that's right next to us, which is really cool. And then they have like, it's called this movie night. They have movie nights in the summer where they put like a projector up, and then you can sit in the grass, and it's like a huge thing for the community to come, and then you just watch the movie in the projector and bring your own snacks and stuff.
Yeah, you should come to Edgewater because you're a 5 minute walk away from the grocery store, 5 minute walk away from the liquor store, 5 minutes from the gas station, 5 minutes from the dispensary. Got everything you need, Little Caesars, 5 minutes. We're good to go.
Magic got me good vibes, thank God I ain't driving traffic. Vision blur, blue bleed, and that's a black eye ladder. It don't matter anyhow. I'm climbing, keep my good vibes in check, coast for cool climbing.